So we're going to make our earring panel. Now, I find it easier, rather than cutting two pieces the exact size that I need, is to cut one piece the exact size I need and to cut the second piece slightly wider and then trim it afterwards. I'm just going to grab my scissors. I don't need to walk them off with me. Not very prepared. So I'm going to start off by adding a little bit of glue. Now you can use a glue stick, or you can use Fabri-Tac or one of the proprietary glues. And if you wanted to round one end of this off, you could do. I quite like it square because I think it matches the ring holder. So having put a bit of glue stick on, I'm now going to position this wrong sides together on my scrap, which should be about the right length, but a little bit wider. And just push it down so that it's sitting nicely. Okay. So you can see there I've got a little bit of extra on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to top stitch all the way down, across and up on this front panel. I'm just going to do one back stitch at the beginning and the end, and I'm stitching at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Let's just move all these odds and sods and bits and pieces. Now, I've been asked before when I'm doing this how I can tell it's 1/8 of an inch when I've got this bit of overlapping fabric underneath. And I don't use my needle plate for this to get where to sort of figure out where the 1/8 of an inch is. I do it on my foot. I use a point on my foot that I kind of keep that point level with the edge of my top bit of fabric, which allows me to stitch accurately. So there you can see I've stitched all of the way around on this top panel. So now I'm going to use my scissors to trim away what's left exposed from the panel that I used on the bottom. Now you could use a rotary cutter if you want to. I actually just find this easier to do with scissors. And if you, oh, I've got a bit of glittery stuff on me. If you wanted to use some edge paint, you could do at this point. I don't feel it's absolutely necessary. Now, I'm not going to put my snap on just now because I use a hammer to do that, and as I've said before, when I've used a hammer when I've got my camera, it messes with the sound. My camera tends to jump off its stand and everything gets a bit funky, so it's not really an ideal thing to do. So there are videos included in the pattern to show you how to fit two different sorts of metal snaps and cam snaps, so it's very much up to you which you use. I will make the hole that I need for my for my snap in my strap so that I know I've got it. And from that point onwards, so that's where my snap's going to go, where I've made the hole. I'm going to make holes approximately 1/2 inch apart. And I'm just going to use, I'm going to have to use that because I don't have my other ruler here. So I'm going to kind of leave a gap where my snap is going to go. I'm just going to mark. You could do these as close or as far apart as you wanted to. I think 1/2 inch is probably about right. And you want these marks centrally, and you want an even amount. So because you're going to wear 2 earrings generally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I don't do right up to the end because this part of the earring holder will be tucked away in the side seam of your treasure trove. So I've created 12 dots on there, and I'm just going to use the smallest hole on this to make holes. They're centrally along that panel for my earrings to go. If you wanted to make a larger hole, you could do, and you could use it for cufflinks. So this jewellery isn't just the domain of ladies. A lot of gents these days are wearing an awful lot of bling. If you're going somewhere flash, sort of on a cruise or something like that, you might want to take cufflinks if you're a chap for evening dress. I have one that's not come out properly there, that just needs snipping. And you just make those holes on those marks for your earrings. You don't want to make great big holes because if you do, then your earrings will just fall through them. So the smallest hole on your cutter will do the trick. So I'm making 12 holes. As I say, I've put my holes 1/2 inch apart. You could make them closer if you wanted to. It's a personal preference. If you're a person that wears big blingy earrings, then you might want to space them out. But I've now got a strap with a whole load of holes all the way down. That first one is for my snap, which I will put on, but I won't do that on camera. And that's how you make your earring holder.